internet, Hiboson here. Good to see you again this week. This week is going to be a little bit of a change up. I'm not going to be doing anything to do with a 3D printer this week. Basically because I've had absolutely zero time to touch it between last week and this week. But one thing that I have had a couple of questions about, and it's been happening over the last few weeks especially, is what type of equipment am I using and things like that. People have been PMing me and saying, I'm trying to make some videos, yours look good, can you let us know what you're using and what you're doing? So I thought, well, this week I'll just do a little quick overview of the bits I am using, and so you can see basically what equipment is making these videos you're watching now. Right, okay, obviously the first piece of equipment to be looking at would be cameras. Now, I have a few different camera options for this. The first camera I have is the one you're looking at looking at me through right now. That one there is a Panasonic SD700, if I remember correctly. I'm filming that right now for this, so I will do a little bit of filming and showing you that camera later, and I will insert it in this bit now. Okay, this is my Panasonic HDC SD700. It's a bit of a mouthful. This is what I've been using as the main workhorse that you see me through normally. It's a simple little flip out screen. It is full HD. It does 1080p at 50 frames per second, which is what I generally record at in here at the moment, although I might shift down to 25 just purely because that's what the Canon does. So when I output the files for YouTube, I take it down to 25 as well, just because of file size and upload time and things like that. It's a great little camera, has like a multi-function ring here for focus or zoom. It's got a nice bit for hooking in a hot shoe adapter. It does take things like audio inputs and what have you there. It can take the mic in and what have you. So it's been a great little camera. I'm very underutilized by myself up until starting the YouTube channel, really. I didn't really use it to the level I should have, but now it's truly getting its work out. But anyway, I suppose I better carry on with the rest of it. Oh, there you go. I hope that was good. So now we've covered the Panasonic SD700. Let's move on to my secondary camera. And now I say secondary, technically this camera is a better camera all in all, generally, in terms of the fact that it's got, you know, all swappable lenses, lots of cool functions, etc. It's a Canon 70D, and I have this with the EFS 18 to 135mm IS-STM lens kit. That's a mouthful. So this is the one that I've been using recently for a lot more of the close-up things and that, because my other camera that I was using previously, which was my mobile phone, I had some issues with that. Now, originally I got this camera to replace the camera you're looking at me through now, but when I did that, you know, when I started to look at this, the problem I had, as you would have probably seen in the little bit of video I'm going to talk about, the fact that the the Panasonic has remote control. So with this remote control, I can do things like show you my camera, zoom. So I can zoom in and zoom out remotely, which is something I can't do with this because this is a manual lens. So I love this camera to bits, and I'm going to be trying to use it more in the future, but for this kind of setup, for where it's up there and kind of locked off, it's just probably a little bit easier to leave that one up there and then use this one for where I'm doing close-up things and I can utilize that. So this is the other camera I'm using, the Canon 70D. Now, the reason I went Canon is I do have a whole bunch of other Canon lenses in the house. They are basically from my photography Canon that I had, so I thought it just made sense to go for this. That's the Canon. I'm not going to go too heavy into all of these pieces and what have you. It's more just to give you a good overview of what I've got, what I'm using. If you are interested in hearing more about each one of these pieces that I go through, please let me know in the comments below, and then I might even do a follow-up video at a later date covering these in more detail. So that's the Canon 70D. Now, Another very important piece to filming is sound. Now, you might have noticed you've seen the boom mic in shot all this time so far. Normally that's hidden just up out of shot here, but I brought it in because today it's part of the show. So this one here is this one I got here, the HTDZ, where is it? HT81 boom microphone. Now this boom mic here, at the time I got it, was like about £17. So not an expensive boom mic at all. And it's done me very well. And it's the one I've been using pretty much through all of my videos. I've been learning how to use it better as time's gone on and how to post-process the sound. So hopefully you're hearing me clearly. Hopefully you might not be hearing all the traffic clearly, but anyway. So this was a great step forward. So if you are doing filming and things, on-camera sound can be alright depending on your situation, but generally as a rule, something like a boom mic or a lavalier mic would be your best bet. So I've done really well with this one, and with this one it came with like a nice long cable, a few microphone clips. The clip that's up here holding it right now is a screw-on stand one. We also have this clip here, which is a hot shoe adapter type. So it even comes with the clips and what have you for that price, and a nice cable and everything. And it can be phantom powered, or as I've got it running now, as I have no phantom power devices, a single AA battery. This is obviously recording the sound through into something. It's not going direct to the camera. What I'm recording it into is this little device here, the Zoom H1 handy recorder. Now this here is a digital recording device, and this item here, when I got it, was about £60–70, but boy am I glad I got it. That in conjunction with the microphone, you're looking at under £100. Even with the lavalier mic I'm going to go over in a minute, you're probably looking at about £100 for sound equipment. But trust me, you won't regret it. They are, this is a lovely little device. It records in WAV and what have you. I can't really say much more about that than it records sound. It does it very well, and I'm so glad I got it. It's got its own built-in microphone, so you can use it as like a handheld mic on its own things, but I have this mic going through this cable, coming around here, and currently plugged right into the side here. So that's how you're hearing me right now. I also got it with a nice accessory kit, which gave me a nice little like semi-hard case for it as well. So that's well worth getting the accessory kit, in my opinion. I have another video on this. It was supposed to be a review of the Zoom H1, but I kind of ended up accidentally reviewing the accessory kit and forgetting about the Zoom H1 a bit. But hey, you can feel free to watch that video. Sound again. I have bought this, let's see what it's called, the JK Mic J044 lavalier microphone. Now again, lavalier microphones, if you're going for some of the top end ones, can be quite expensive. This one here was around about £20. It's a simple, just little lavalier mic. You can just clip onto your shirt. The other end just plugs into my Zoom, and off we go. So I have used this on a couple of my videos, but generally as a rule, because of the way I am, having something here when I'm working and moving, and not only that, my beard tends to ruffle on it a lot, so I get better audio from the boom mic, which is why I stick with that one at the moment. Next up is recording media. Obviously my camera here, down here, and that one both run on SD cards. So I have some nice level 10 64 gig Samsung SD cards. I have 4 of these in total. There was a really good deal on Amazon at the time. I looked the other night because I wanted to get a few more. The deal's not on at the moment. I was getting these for like £22 a piece, which was bargain. But alas, they're out of stock of them at the moment. So hopefully they'll come back in at some point, because I want to stock up on some more of these. And if you're talking SD cards, another very important tool that I use is this Transcend various different like card reader. It does SD, micro SD, compact, flash, what's that, MS Pro XE, MS Duo, etc. It's a USB 3 card reader, so when I'm transferring these files down, because my computer does have USB 3, it then can get the files over really quick, really nicely. And as I have SD cards, micro SD, this was a great little investment. This wasn't very expensive at all. I can't remember exactly how much, but not a lot, and I'm glad I bought that. Now, moving back to kind of cameras, back in the early 3D printer videos where I had the above camera looking down, what I was using for that was a Samsung Galaxy Note 3. I have one here. This one here is actually, I have borrowed my dad's one of these because my Galaxy Note kind of went tits up. So that was the one that I was using for filming all of the other stuff on the build video when it was the above one, because I could clamp it up there, it wasn't very heavy, and I could arrange it and use it. And now the bonus with the Samsung Galaxy Note 3s was when you're in the video camera mode, there's an option where if you have two of them, you can pair them over their own Wi-Fi. They do direct like Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi if I'm not mistaken, and I can use one to view the other camera and control it and stop and start recording. So that was incredibly useful for when I was doing all of that build video. It gave me a good chance to see exactly what that camera was seeing, and also start and stop recording as and when required. So that has been great. Now I only recorded at 1080p, but these Galaxy Note 3s can do 4K, which I thought was kind of cool. But my video editing machine doesn't do 4K, so I've kept to 1080p. Also, things to help me out when filming. This here is a focus board and a grey card, basically. This, you take it and it throws remotes on the floor. So with this, I can zoom in with my camera up there, get nice and close, make sure that I've got the good focus at the point I want, and I can set my custom white balances and things like that to try and help keep my color and all that in a semi-neutral state, so all my videos should look somewhat the same. I've still got to try and figure out how to make my cameras match per se, but at least that camera angle shots generally will match from the last to the next to the next. Hopefully, because the lighting stays generally the same in here, so that helps me just set the camera up right. Now, while I think about it, going back to cameras, I run this one quite regularly, and I'm running this one right up there right now, both on a mains power supply rather than batteries generally. The reason for that is, especially with the Panasonic, with that one, if I set up a custom white balance and then it powers down or I switch the power off, when I power it back on, it forgets that custom white balance and I have to do it all over again. Now, when it's on mains power, even if it's paused, it will just stay on, so it doesn't lose that. If you're on battery power, it goes into power save mode and switches off. So if I'm not paying attention, it'll switch off and then I have to reset up all my color balance, etc. Complete pain in the butt. So that's why I use mains on that. And with this one here, occasionally I'm using the battery, sometimes I'm using the mains. It kind of varies depending on the situation. But if suddenly your battery dies on you and you're halfway through doing something, you just want to get on recording, it's very good to have the mains adapters for these. Fortunately for the Canon, it's damn pricey. To get the official one for this was, ready for this, 100 quid. Ow! That's just ludicrous. Yes, there are third-party ones out there. There are reproduction ones that are like 20 quid, 15 quid. And it's kind of tempting. But then when I read through a lot of forums and what have you, the amount of people's cameras that have been nuked by those ones because they're not regulated like the Canon one. And then Canon will just turn around and say, sorry, not our fault. And your very, very expensive camera is then just nothing more than a paperweight. If it happens with the Canon one, I can say, well, it's your stuff, then they have to deal with it. So that's why I opted for the original Canon when I did that on my one. So yeah, my wallet didn't like that one, but I thought it was the best sacrifice to make sure that that was going to be safe in the future. Okay, another thing I use is my iPad. So if I just unlock that here, and then the thing that I use on here is a clapperboard piece of software. Not quite clapperboard, but when I'm using multiple cameras, This helps me tie them up so they're all synchronized, and that way then when you see my hand move here and then I switch to the other camera, my hands are actually in time with things. So that has been an amazing help. It's a simple little app. What's it called? Nobuslate. Nobuslate. Yeah, it's a weird name. It's a little kind of clapperboard with a $ crossed through. It's a free app, so yep, that's what I use on there. I then have another tablet. I know, tablets coming at my posterior. This one here is an Android tablet. That one was a Windows not Windows, iPad, so that was Apple. This one here is an Android one, and I got this one, be honest, purely for one function. This one here is a Retina display pad. Now the specs seem pretty decent. It's something called like Runa. I can't even remember the brand, but it is it was cheap, but you know, 70 quid for a 9.7 inch tablet, Retina display. Thought that's all right. Now the main reason I got it is because I have an app I got from the Google Play Store, which is DSLR controller. So what I can do with that is, if I now switch this camera on, open that up, plug that in here, you can see now that app has launched. You can see on the screen there what my camera sees. So if I pick up the remote I dropped earlier, zoom in a bit down there, you can see that now, and then I can do, so I can zoom up to that camera there, zoom in, adjust the focus, and there we go. Cameraception. Whoa. So that's the reason I got that there. Let's zoom out again, because the bonus with this piece of software here is I can adjust my settings, and I can start and stop recording, take stills, see my histograms, all of that. And because it was a Retina screen, I get a really nice clear image. There's a slight delay between the camera and it, but for framing up and things like that, and I can put all my grids on there and everything, that really does help sometimes. If I've got this in a situation where I can't get to the flip out screen to use it, then, you know, for example, when I was using it the other day and it was up there facing down here for a part of a printer build or something I was doing, I then had the tablet over there and I could see clearly and made sure everything was clearly in frame. So this tablet again has been a great little thing. And then the bonus is, the second I switch the camera off, that just shuts itself down. That's the pad and what have you. Another very, very important piece of what helps my videos hopefully look good, and hopefully you think the quality is up there. I do try hard, and I've still got lots of things to learn, is the lighting. Now in here I do have 3 soft boxes currently illuminating me. I have one right here above my head, one off to one side here, and another one downlighting just there as well. I can't really get them anywhere else in this place due to space, but they do help make an amazing difference. If you are new to starting filming and you're starting to look at all this equipment thinking, I can't afford all of that, then all I'll say to you right now is the simple things to start with. You can start with something as simple as your mobile phone. If you are sitting in a position where you've got good light and not a load of background noise, it's nice and quiet around you and it's not too echoey, you can make some really decent videos with something as simple as a mobile phone. I know some top YouTubers that are out there who have 2, 3, 4 million plus subscribers, and their weekly videos still sometimes are made on their iPhones. And it does the job. A lot of it comes down to just making sure that the lighting's good at the time, the audio's good at the time, and also editing. Editing can make a big difference to things as well. I'm going to try and show you my lighting with this. I don't know if it will work because obviously I'm trying to film lights, and filming lights is generally not a very good thing. So just started that there. So up here we have, so there's, let me just put this on autofocus. So there we have you guys and me. Then normal strip light. One soft box up there. Then that soft box here. And lots of things like Star Trek models and stuff in the background. And then, oh, flipping all the way around and up here. And the other soft box just there. So, and there's my mic. So there was a quick little flip round, and you can see my very messy workshop. With those lights were about £150, remember. Again, there's a unboxing video for them. Feel free to check them out. That's it. The only other thing above and beyond that I use all the time, which I obviously haven't got here, is my editing machine. So that is where I then do all the actual editing. So I hope you enjoy that. I suppose I better move into the outro. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, let me know why. I will be trying to get back to the 3D printing and what have you later, but please be aware of some things that are coming up at the moment, which is I've got some renovations going on at the moment, and some of that means that soon we might have to strip all the electrics out of the garage. Now, unfortunately, this workshop is powered from the garage. So there is a feed that goes from the workshop through to the garage, and that's where all this workshop gets its power. So that does mean in another week or two, this workshop may be without power for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how long the work is required takes. So during that time, I will just be unable to do anything to do with the 3D printer at that time. So hopefully I'll get some stuff done before the power goes out, but if not, trust me, there will still be videos, I will still be doing stuff, but it may be more along the lines of covering some other tech that I enjoy and that I have. So just be aware of that for the up and coming weeks. Again, like I said, I hope you liked. If you did, subscribe, etc, etc. I've already covered all that, haven't I? You're repeating yourself, Lee, you're repeating yourself. So if you want to catch me on social media, there's Twitter. You can get me at Hiboson, and I'll see you next week. And if you did like this video and you do want to see more about these, please let me know in the comments below. Catch you later. Bye.